everybody. Welcome back to our channel, Flaws and All.
Hey, what's up? We know it's been a long time, but if we forgive us how we look, it's been a long weekend. We had a lot of fun over the 4th of July weekend, so we big bumming right now. But nonetheless, I hope you guys had a fun and festive 4th of July, even considering circumstances plaguing our country right now. But we're going to get to it and start our topic for this week. Okay, here we go. I don't know why I feel like forever since we did this, but we already caught up, so we good.
Yeah.
I think it's this week for Miss Lady to pick, or is it my week?
Check out our second vlog that we posted, by the way. So
we didn't record when she fell. We're good. Okay.
I thought you just give it away.
All right, is it my pick or your pick?
It's mine.
Okay, go ahead. I don't know.
Ready?
There you go.
I never liked this because it's like, what? Oh, okay.
Ooh.
This is biggest mistake or missed warning signs. So that's what I got, guys. All right.
Okay.
Are you gonna start?
I think I always start them.
All right.
I always start them.
You mean like
I always start them.
warning signs, like for the beginning of the relationship?
Yeah. Period.
Red flags.
Red flags.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody knows what red flags are, and if you don't, then pretty much there are the warning signs in a person's personality when you're getting to know them, and when your intuition kind of lets you know, like, I don't know if I can, if I really like what this person's doing or how they're behaving or whatnot. Those are things that you should really listen to, is when your intuition is letting you know that something's off. So for me, when I was dating, years ago or not, I missed a lot of red flags, or sometimes I just would get into a habit of ignoring them because I wanted to pursue the relationship so much, but it never worked out. It never ended up being something that was long-term and doable at the end. So I learned from those lessons, and when I met Brian, I really did, I know my self-worth. So that's a big one, because if you don't know your self-worth, you're going to pretty much just sit there and accept anything that comes your way because, you don't know what you're worth. But for me, when I met him, I knew my self-worth, and I knew what I wasn't going to tolerate and what I could tolerate. And so, if I seen anything in him, which, believe it or not, I have not seen any red flags in dating him. So, and that's the first
I'm a good guy.
for me. And that's another thing too. Don't try to focus so much on trying to find red flags. Because of whatever you're looking for. I mean, what's the saying? They say, when you go looking for it, you find it, or, you create the problem in your mind, and it just becomes an issue. So, but I just went with the flow with him. And, he knew his self-worth as well. And he had his things he was like, I won't tolerate this and I won't deal with that. And were just okay, let's see where we go from there.
Okay, well, first, she always messes up sayings. I gotta get you a book on
What?
I don't know. Maybe you was right.
What?
I said,
when I'm when I said, don't go finding something, you'll find it.
I don't know anyone ever said that, but sure.
I've heard it before. I don't know about y'all.
Nobody else has, but I'm like, where'd you get that from? All right, but nonetheless, when you get into a relationship or a marriage or whatever, my advice based on my past experiences is, when a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Because at that point, all they'll end up doing is covering up who they initially showed you who they are, and you'll try to decipher what it means or how they're going to act or react or so on and so forth. But I would say when a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time, whether that's in an argument or a person who brings up old business or old news that happened back in the days. It's not worth the fight. It's not worth the energy. It's not worth the drama. to try to live a healthy and lasting, fruitful relationship, you have to, like she said, understand your worth, know what you are willing to do and what you're absolutely willing not to do. And then in the middle, we were talking about this a little bit earlier yesterday, compromise.
Yeah.
Right. But when it comes to, just those red flags, it's really hard to get around, because what you end up doing, in my opinion, is tolerating.
Yeah.
Tolerating, which you're not really there for a reason. You're there and you're hoping it works out, and you're just tolerating it. And as time passed and things just start festering, and next you know, it's a big explosion, and then boom, you're breaking up, you're getting divorced or what have you. But when you sit back and reflect and look at things in the bigger picture, you're like, man, I saw that.
Yeah.
Year 2, or I saw that month 3. Why didn't I stop? But we, in a sense, as humans, we all have this little bit of greed, this selfishness about us that wants us to continue on the path that we're trying to seek, and that path may not be what's intended for you. But you're too greedy and you're too selfish to be very cognizant or aware of those warning signs, that you see them and you ignore them, and you just continue on, and then at the end of the day, you start to have regrets on some things. And then when it's all said and done, especially if it ends badly, you're like, I should have listened to my gut instinct. So that's my thing. When a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yeah. Another thing with me is, even if you see the red flags, doesn't necessarily mean you have to run away, right? You could take that risk and you could decide whether you want to move forward with that person. But I feel that if you do so, then how about you bring that up in a conversation between you and that person and say, hey, this is something that I really didn't like that you did, yesterday, or something that's really like a pet peeve of mine. And maybe that conversation would give that individual the respect and understanding that maybe it's something within themselves that they should really kind of check too, and compromise for the relationship. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, it's a red flag and it's the end of the day. No, it's a red flag, and you can talk about it and be like, I'm not with that. So I'm just letting you know up front. And then if you guys feel like it's not moving forward from there on, then that's the decision that you guys both make. But you can actually get past the red flags together. So I wanted to, just add that in there, because it doesn't necessarily mean that it's always a bad thing.
And I think you have a good point. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. However, I would say, if that thing starts to be reoccurring, much like on Lion King, run away, Simba, and never return. Because, like I said, I'm speaking for me. I'm speaking for me, not for Chris. I'm speaking for me. When it happens over and over again, and you're like, it happened about a couple of years ago. All right, that's the second time. And a couple of months or so later, it happens again. Yeah. You have to really start having to value yourself.
Well, for me, that's what I'm saying. Let's say, for instance, I met you and you mentioned something that I wasn't with. And I don't bring it to your attention as a red flag, right? So I ignore it. And then I'm like, okay, I want to move forward with him. But then he does it again. And you're like, maybe this might just be how this person is. I feel like it's also fair to bring it up to the individual. And if they continue to do it, then run away, Simba.
Correct. And we don't, you shouldn't want it to be, or it shouldn't get to a point where it would become combative in nature, where that thing that happened multiple times becomes then an argument, because then in that sense, that's who they are. You can either accept it or accept them for who they are, flaws and all, or walk away. But that's on the person or the couple as it relates to, just that topic. So
Did you
nonetheless.
see red flags when you met me?
Um,
I'm putting them on the spot, y'all.
no,
See if you tell the
listen, if you know me, I'm gonna tell the truth no matter how ugly it is. You know what I mean? So, hey, you trying to put me on blast? No, I'm joking. Red flags. I'm a very, try to be organized and much of a neat freak. Crystal, when I first met her, very beautiful house, immaculate, but her car was not. And you know, so she's working on it and not trying to appease me, but she knows, like, when I say like I'll drive, it usually means I'm not getting in there. So she don't get offended. She's just like, I'm trying, I'm gonna go to the car wash today. And then a week or two go by, and I'm like, those are the same dead bugs on the front of the car that was there last week. Whatever. You haven't been on the freeway in 7 days, but it is what it is. But no, for me, really, nothing major that that general relationships don't go through. But this girl's she was a blessing in disguise. I'll just put you up on that too, man.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Look at you being all sentimental.
I would say, y'all, I mean, that pretty much wraps up our video for today. If you guys have any new suggestions or any comments, please comment below. And give us some topics to go ahead and throw in our little bucket and our little bowl over here so we can pool. So I thank you guys. I thank the ones that have been leaving some suggestions, and I do know we pulled a few of those. So if you're watching, thumbs up for you, and thank you. If you like it, hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed, subscribe. So
absolutely, and as always, stay blessed, stay vigilant, stay you, flaws and all.